Hello, and this is about my life and how these people, some of the people, have been trying to ruin it, and how why I can't pick myself up, because I just cannot be around these such people. As now, it's very this thing rampant on YouTube, at least on my main page menu. It comes to me about covert narcissists and how they could mess up your emotional and mental health. My mother had plenty in her in-laws. They are very difficult people and difficult to please, and no matter what you do, if they do not accept you in their family as their daughter-in-law, then you've had it. So my mother was the second daughter-in-law in the family. The third one got it less because the third one was not a Pakistani, was an Omani. And because my mother was Pakistani and was kind-hearted, she got it really bad from these people. And so I want to say that it's not the Jews, it's not Israel. Israel is not my enemy. If I was a Jew and I was in Israel, I would have a better life than to go insane and be broke and broken spirit and financially broke, can't work and all that. Although when I was working in London, at least I was a little better. Because of the surroundings, the college surroundings in London, I at least got to my feet. So yes, I am dependent on a good environment to work with good people, and my college sheltered me a lot, protected me a lot. And so they were so caring there that they protected my innocence. Like I could have easily been vulnerable to, hurt by this thing. But in London, like sensitive, and people can exploit you for being vulnerable. They know if you are kind-hearted and you want only good and you want to do good, they can even exploit you on that. It's not about, if you are good to others, they will be good to you. They will, in fact, be very jealous of you, I was told. And they would not like you being good or kind or compassionate. So there are also these people who kill your spirit, your high spirits, by saying that, do you think you are someone, or who do you think you are? Or not even saying that, but then they get to you in other ways to, pull your spirit down. And now I'm going to expose these people because they've treacherously worked. They've covered themselves up behind my back. So I know that their weakness, these covert narcissists, cruel people's weaknesses, that we expose their names. Even though they may come after me, I don't know how long God's help will stay away from us. And their money will help us. And their nationality, UAE, or even if they are Pakistanis, or their army, Pakistani army will help them, or the ISI will help them. If Shehnaz Mohammed Jawad's daughter, Naeem's wife, is her husband is in a high post and would like to help his wife against me, or my father's side family Sabah Hassan Sajwani and Iqbal Sajwani. So I would like to see how they are going to make life miserable for me, more than they already have. And look good. You see, these people, they are not worried about, they just want to look good, to have a good image. And their close-knit families help them in this covert narcissist behavior and encourage them. And towards their own friends, it's different. Iqbal Sajwani is the friend of the Sheikh of Sharjah. So it's different. With the Sheikh, he's not going to stand up and say, no, you are doing this wrong. No, Sheikh, I know your age is this, but you are, aren't you a year older? I know. He's not going to argue with the Sheikh like this. They are too clever to do this kind of a thing. We don't want any problems, huh? Of course, you don't want problem. You don't want to get into trouble with the Sheikh of Sharjah. But the weak person you can argue with and get away. It would have been so good if my this cousin, whom he has slapped in Dubai, would have been in Karachi, come to my mother's soya, and I would have asked him to slap this man now, because on my mother's condolence night, he's insulted and humiliated me on the pretext that it is not good for me, and he just doesn't want me to fall into trouble. He was so concerned about me, like he's been calling me every week, asking my father how your daughter is doing, whether in Karachi you are not in trouble, your daughter is not in trouble. And another thing about them is that they don't want to give favors to others, because they don't want to spoil their name, helping others. So they use this pretext that we don't want to do any favors, by merit if you make it, and things like that. And that's by merit. They don't want to help others. This is the excuse they make is that we will not talk to any sheikh or anything or help you. And actually my father made Charlu, and the finance was of course was agreed by the brothers partnership, that finance would be done by Fuad Sajwani, and then Iqbal Sajwani would come and occupy the family partnership company seat as the MD or someone, CEO of Charlu, because he was one of the sleeping partners in the shares, dividends he was getting. So his family, my father made it easy for him to drive that was a message, to drive my father's Jaguar. They were sharing. His brother's was like his, and his was like his brother's. And so we were in Karachi, me and my brothers and my sister, and we've had to work hard. And I know that I would be working harder than their children in the UAE, because the children have no share and no business of theirs, not even to talk about the problems of the brothers, or what, or even interfere or even ask about the business. For so many years I didn't know. I was the eldest in my father's family, I mean, with my, I was the eldest daughter of my father. Like my father gives these examples about Abbas Gokul's wife, how she used to accompany her husband on the trips, and my mother didn't. So Abbas Gokul kept his daughter with him, in his gave her confidence to do. She was helping her. She was his. She was her father's right hand. But see now, even his brothers, whom he went to Singapore and he said, I'm making this for, and then I'm going to call one of my brother there. I'm establishing this business. And then I will ask my other brother to come here. And the Sharlu that Iqbal Sajwani had a ready-made seat for him, because it's a family business. And the children can, there's no this thing for the children. Especially for us living in Karachi, we have had a hard time. Even living in UAE and working here, it hasn't been easy for us. So my father is on government finance aid, and none of the brothers have given him anything. And one of the brothers was telling me that oh, your brothers are rich enough to give you money, and that brother, even the youngest brother, has something, and cannot even give his oldest brother who worked for him, established a business for him in Singapore. These people, they've worked for their children, and my father has worked for them like their slave. This is what my mother used to say. Traveling for your family is not gonna, your brothers will desert you in no time. These three brothers, four brothers, they can get together and, get 8,000 dirhams a month to give to my father. This father of mine, he's done everything in the business. He's established this business. This eldest brother of theirs was just financing, was not the brain behind the Sajwani, making of the Sajwanis. Even the Gokuls went through a bad time, financial. I hadn't seen the cousins telling each other that, no, it was pointing fingers at their uncles. So I'm saying all this because I feel it's time now. It's like for me, it's like I'm standing in front of God, and it's the hereafter. And I'm in the court of God. Oh yes, and I forgot to complete that in one of the videos. I said that I was very, very scared of the eternal fire that's mentioned again and again for those who do wrong to others, who are unjust disbelievers. And disbelievers mean that if you don't believe in one God, you have done injustice to the truth, to your own truth. And this is how I used to take it. If you don't believe in one God, you're being ungrateful, you're being unjust, and you would definitely have a hard heart. But these people here, some of my relatives, who have taken action, covert action against me when I was not after them, and maybe also because they wanted me to not marry, myself say that I don't want to marry Sabah Sajwani, and but they want to look good from the outside. So either they would have me killed or not, perhaps not poison me. They had my baby sister killed, 2 of them. Their mother did. So not directly, but indirectly, like whatever way I could kill myself. They know about our secrets because they are relatives, and then through my father, and then they've even taken their own kind, overt narcissist, Mutar Usmani, to help them. And they have another friend, the sister's friend, long time friend in Karachi, Nagina, who could be helping them and who has helped them to ruin my life, my school, Karachi American School, because then yes, her friend, the magistrate, Farat Rashid, had her daughter go to Karachi American School, spread this rumor against me that I was abusing Miss Tissa. And it wasn't I who was abusing Miss Tissa. Oh, once, it was like once Mrs. Ansari didn't come to my birthday, I told Miss Tissa that I was going to call and find out why Mrs. Ansari hasn't come. Miss Tissa was in my house. It was my birthday. And I went and called her, and she said something. And she said she couldn't make it that day to my birthday. I never abused Miss Tissa because she didn't come to my birthday in front of people. I'm like abusing Miss Tissa and all. So this rumor was spread by a magistrate in Sindh, her daughter, Farat Rashid's daughter. Later on, can you believe this? This rumor has come to me through my brother's friend, Farah. Sorry, what's her name? What was the 2 sisters' name? They were friends of Farat Rashid, their parents. And so that's how they knew her daughter. Myra and Farah. Okay, my youngest brother's friends. So this rumor has been spread against me about Miss Tissa, against her, and it came to me in year 2000 somewhere through my brother's friends. And I was saying that yes, I was very much scared of the fire of hell, but I saw my imam in my dream, and I saw Yusuf Zaidi's father look alike, but he didn't have much hair. When I had seen Yusuf Zaidi's father, he had a lot of hair on his head. And then I saw that his grave was, there was smoke coming out of his grave. So I thought that his grave must be on fire. And I got really scared. So my imam was standing. I don't know if it was Imam Raza alayhi salam. Most probably it was Imam Raza alayhi salam, our 12-ver Shia's 8th Imam. And he told me, no, this won't happen to you. And he told me something else, like something very big. But he said that, he meant that I will not go through this, not even the punishment of the grave. Meaning there will be no punishment for me. Meaning that if I prayed that God raise me up to heaven, like perhaps we believe that even Isa al-Masih's mother There's no mention of her dying in or being martyred in the Quran. So we were told that Isa al-Masih's mother was also taken up to heaven. So my imam at that time, when the dreams had started, I really believe in, because my imam was giving me good news that no grave, I won't even go into the grave. So, like they told us that if we don't cover our hair, that every strand of our hair would have snakes. And then these snakes are going to get into the grave. And this is the punishment for those who don't do hijab, who don't cover their hair. So I used to feel guilty about that too, and scared. So that's how I just felt consoled, and I just lost it. I lost my fear of the punishment of the grave and the fire of hell. But only recently have I been doubting my religion, even Shia Islam religion. And so now I've come to the point where I don't hurt myself. I don't have to feel guilty. I already am in so much physical pain due to so much mental strain and all that suffered over the years. I just let it go. I don't think God is going to punish me. And why should He? He's let the cruel people, like I've mentioned, go on. Their children go on. They don't bother about kindness or goodness or anything. It's all polished. It's all on the face. It's all an image. They just, if they're just, brought up to for success in life, to not to do good to others, but do good to yourself, and just that's it. Yourself is important. You are important. The rest can go to hell. So hard-hearted, and with this capital system, whoever has given us this capital system, at least in our Islam, it wasn't allowed. Our imam was supposed to be using the economy and dealing with the economy, his city, in his land, with his people, and whom he's leading as a spiritual leader, and also caring for the poor, the downtrodden, the needy, whatever the problem may be, and employment policy, social security, the economy, the well-being, welfare, financial security, all these things, the whole government coming under Islamic law was supposed to be so great that if we had the true imam work on this government, taking care of his people, this would be a completely heaven. This would be so different. So not the caliphate of what the Umar, Abu Bakr, Usman did. No, they didn't allow Ali to live properly. Like even, lead his people. They were always giving him problems and wars, and Muawiyah was there on top the another Umayyad Caliph they had. So if we had our true Imam working with the government and they cooperating with him, we would have like fruits under our hands, like from paradise. We would not have to reach, far or stretch our hands. This is just a metaphorical saying that how easy it would have been for us. And so we wouldn't have these problems in, at least in, if the Muslims were in any way true, sincere, not by beheading and then punishing people. They've missed all the proper, first provide, give social security, see that no one is scared, no one in the family is hard pressed by another family member, and to have to give such an environment, such a facilitating push, encouragement, that people would just stop. People would see that these believers are so prospering so much, they would want to join. The cruel people would be reformed. Their hearts would soften because, of course, soften because they want prosperity, and to see the believers prospering, they would definitely want to leave their hurting others behind and join the believers. But here we are in a capital system. Who cares what anyone does to anybody else? Hurts them. We have now so much of this rampant, covert and overt narcissists and cruel people, cruel leaders. So please leave behind talking about Islam and 5 times. You may be praying 10 times a day, doing sajdas, like you may be doing extra prayers, your nawafils. You may be doing night prayers, your tahajjud. You may be in total prostration, and you are a millionaire, and you just have no feelings for anyone else, except that you are smart enough to this thing, how to put a poor woman's daughter down, and with your own the one who is you're the same, equal in money, monetary form, you will not have the nerve to say anything to her, his daughter. I would really like you to see Fuad Sajwani, the thing, what I took from his mother, if in childhood, if his daughter-in-law were to take that from his mother, I would really like to see him then insulting and humiliating his daughter-in-law in front of the family members on Eid, like he's done me. Hello.